Hello, I'm Mark, you're the audience, and this is a video about improving your aim in Rainbow Six Siege for PC. Starting out, we're going to take a look at graphic settings, because things like frames per second actually make a big difference. If you're migrating from console, all this can be a bit daunting, but there are a few simple things you can do to improve your experience, and I highly recommend watching Rogue 9's graphic settings tested and compared video, which I'll link down below in the description. Fair warning, you want as many frames as your monitor allows. A 60Hz monitor caps your frame rate at 60, a 120Hz monitor at 120, and so on. So it's suggested that you play on a monitor with a high refresh rate just so you can make use of the higher FPS. To recap Rogue 9's video, texture quality and texture filtering don't significantly affect FPS. LOD quality matters a little, so keep it from medium to ultra. Shading quality should be set to low, shadow quality to either medium or high, reflection quality to low, ambient occlusion, lens effects, and zoom in depth of field should all be turned off. As for anti-aliasing, set it to either TAA with scaling and sharpness set to 100 or turn it off. That's about it for graphic settings. Next we have sensitivity settings. If you're coming from controller to mouse and keyboard, these are your most important settings, so it's a good idea to get it right the first time, just so you're not constantly relearning how to aim. For your reference, I've linked a website below that lists every pro player and a few YouTubers and streamers. Take a few minutes to look at these settings and try them out in Terrace Hunt. See which ones you like the most. Generally speaking, your mouse's DPS should be set to either 400 or 800. Your mouse's polling rate should be 1000 Hz, and adjust your in-game sensitivity settings from there. It's better to find one that you like and stick with it. Changing your sensitivity settings is like relearning how to use a mouse again. All the muscle memory you built using those settings will start hindering you as soon as a change is made. And that's the key of this whole video is just building muscle memory. There's no shortcut to building muscle memory with mouse and keyboard. It requires practice and experience. But if you want the quickest, simplest way to build muscle memory and see an almost immediate impact on your aim and KD, we can sum it up in 3 main tips. 1. Whenever you're aiming down sights, aim at head height. Since most enemies can be standing, crouching, or prone, you're not guaranteed to be right 100% of the time, but you're in a much better situation than if you're aiming at their shoes, legs, or arms. 2. Get used to moving around while aiming down sights. Whenever you're entering a room, moving slowly through a room, or looking around, be sure to do it while ADSing. This not only builds muscle memory, but it eliminates the time it takes to ADS from the hip when you do see an enemy. In games like Siege, where enemies can kill you in 4 bullets or so, you're more likely to kill your enemy if you're already aiming down sights when you see them. 3. Don't be afraid to take your time when lining up a headshot. At first it might get you killed, but you'll get faster over time. You can always practice aiming at your teammates' heads as they move, just to squeeze in a little bit more practice time. Even with these tips, they only help you if you continue to practice them as you play. Saying that, if you're in this for the long term and really want to commit to improving your aim, daily practice is the way to go about it. Simply playing casual or ranked every day helps, but isn't quite enough. So here are a couple practice tips that'll make a big difference over time. 1. Terrace Hunt is perfect for warming up and training. Go to your options, matchmaking preferences, and under Terrace Hunt, turn off Disarm, Extract, and optionally Protect. Next, if you want a consistent baseline, turn off every map except for House. It's a small, densely packed map that's perfect for training. If you get bored of the map and the routine, turn on a few other maps to mix it up. After you have your preferences done, play Terrace Hunt on normal lone wolf and set goals or limitations for yourself. Personally, I choose my main ops and go for headshots only. You can also switch to single fire, go for one taps, or go pistol only. Whatever you feel like you need to improve on most, you can practice it in TH. 2. There are programs and games out there designed to improve your aim by testing things like accuracy and reflexes. Picking up or signing up for one of these programs and practicing them daily hones your skills to noticeable effect. I use Aim Trainer Pro for Steam as it has a lot of customizable options like sensitivity settings based on what game I play, target and wall color, different reticles, and customizable game modes where you can set spawn timers and sizes for targets. For $4 it isn't too expensive. You can also look at Aim Hero, which is $5 but reviewed better. There are a few free browser programs you can try out with the links listed in the description. 3. Exercise your arms regularly. Many esports orgs have personal trainers that focus on player health and muscle development, especially for building strength and dexterity in the arms, so try to spend a few minutes every day or every other day lifting dumbbells or stretching. If you're having difficulty controlling recoil, you can practice by going into TH's arm and killing every enemy on the map without planting a diffuser. This makes sure that no enemies will spawn and you'll have an ammo refill at both bomb sites. Once you're in the clear, pick a few walls and find your gun's recoil pattern, then try to control it. For example, Jackal C7E goes up and to the right, so to counterpull down to the left. If you're still having trouble controlling recoil, it might be a good idea to switch to a different operator and gun. On the attacker side, try the L85A2 for Sledge and Thatcher, the 556XI for Thermite, the G36 for Ash, the Para for Capital, and the C7E for Jackal. On the defender side, try the UMP45 for Castle and Pulse, the MP5 for Dock and Rook, the MP5K for Mute, the MPX for Valk, the 9mm for Frost, or the M12 for Cav. Also note that recoil control is a little harder with ACOGs, so try hollow sights or reflex sights if ACOGs aren't quite working out. It may be a little harder to see, so judge for yourself which you'd rather have. Alright, that's about it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you for watching, and take care.